what happens is it's not only affecting our students, it affects us also, isn't it? The mobile usage has taken our timings also. So how it takes time? So because these things you have to bring into your students' notice. So one research has said, okay, these are the results. It is quite what you call alarming results. It includes us also, not only students. See now, are you able to see the screen?
Huh? Item number.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. See how the mobile is being used. It is quite alarming one, which includes us also. See the first part. First part is quite okay. 17.5 of us. I think please unmute those who are what to call. Those who are not unmuted, please mute your microphone. Sannarame Gowda, please unmute yourself, sir. Okay. So 17.5% use of us in general, they use what you call phone as an alarm clock. But imagine 87.8% of feel uneasy leaving the phone at home. This can happen with your students because why they are restless? Because by chance if they leave the home, what you call phone at home, imagine the restlessness which they have because their mind is who will watch their this one parents whether they watch their this one and all those things can happen. And one of the most dangerous thing is almost half of the what you call drivers, they look at their phone while driving, which is most dangerous. You know how the mobile this one watching and accidents would happen, and we also could be part of it. It is not only they are risking their life, they are risking others life also. So the moral of the story is try to what you call avoid using the what you call or stop using the what you call mobile while driving or riding. Then alarmingly 3 out of the 4 people, they think that they are addicted to the phones because without phone they think that okay they cannot survive. The addiction comes when mobile controls the individual more than they control the mobile. That's a part of addiction. When the other part controls more than the person controls it, then it becomes addiction. And this addiction is very high, not only among what you call youngsters, even nowadays you can see in the children also. And one study said that we watch on an average 160 times per day the mobile, more than two-thirds of the population. Now imagine 160 times if we see that mobile, and if it's 1 minute per watching, that's a minimum I'm talking about. 160 times 160 minutes, almost 180 minutes, 3 hours we are losing it. So are we serious about it? And as we had earlier talked, 57.4% use their phone on dates. And this is quite interesting. Inside the class, almost two-thirds of the students text themselves front to back and back to front, or left to right, or right to left, whatever the directions could be. So there is within a classroom, there could be what you call use of mobile can happen. Then alarmingly, 3/4 of them use their mobile even in the washrooms or toilets. That means what? Earlier landlines were there. You used to walk to the what you call the landline place and you talk. Nowadays you carry mobile even to the washroom because mobile will not allow even inside the washroom also. So that's the idea. Imagine how it has invaded. And as usual, 60.6, almost 3 out of 5 they upgrade. iPhone 14 is over, 15 is now 16. They're waiting for 17. Samsung new version. Okay, Oppo new version. Everybody. Now imagine few of the important things. One is what you call within the classroom texting and addiction, where it can take lots of time for the individuals. And my sincere request you to bring these things because all these things can affect their study hours. That is more important. When the study hours are affected, they lose interest. And nowadays, another important thing is the sleep quality, because one of my area research area of interest is what to call assessing sleep quality of students in professional and non-professional courses, and we found that on an average more than 60% of the students do not have good sleep quality. They may sleep in the bed for 10 hours, but that good sleep quality as measured by standard measures like Pittsburgh Sleep Quality Index, we have got standard measures. They don't have good sleep quality. Why? Because invasion of social media. Because they don't sleep in the night on the right time. And we have enough web series, we have enough OTT platforms, we have enough TV channels, thousands together, which can spoil the what you call tender minds. Now, what happens? The students are engrossed in that, and once they are engrossed in that, now it is so addictive, they lose sleep, and once they lost the sleep and they come with the hapless face in the college, they have no interest in listening to you because they in classroom also 9 o'clock only they feel asleep. I think you must have observed already. Now why? So this is where you have to bring lot of changes, or we call it as a psycho education for our students to stop all this and use mobile in a better way. So they may what you call consider some of the ways to manage like allocation of specific timings and all. And there is a problem. I should tell you during Corona time, what happened was mm, when the online classes suddenly started, we insisted our students to use mobiles. Earlier, parents used to snatch mobiles from their children, and from very childhood to college or PG or professional or non-professional courses, all the classes were online. Now every child or the young adult was forced to use the mobile. That itself became the addiction later. So that's where the part of what you call problem lies with the system also. And nowadays, mothers, what you call, I'm not accusing any specific mother here. Since mothers also started using more of what you call mobiles, they made their children addicted to the mobile because they want to watch the mobile, and whenever the child cries they just give the mobile to the another mobile to the child to watch it, and from that point onwards the child becomes addicted to the mobile. And the typical wording is my kid will not eat without mobile. Without mobile watching my kid will not eat. I think you must have heard ನಮ್ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಪು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲದಿದ್ರೆ ಊಟನೇ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. The child will not eat the food. Then I ask, when you were kid, whether your parents showed you mobile and what you call you started eating, or what are the other procedures or strategies to make you to eat? The strategies were different. So that's where you can psycho educate your students. The next part is what you call a few important tips for our budding teachers. One is the preparation. Now, why I'm insisting on teachers to prepare? Because if your class is 1 hour, my dear teachers, prepare for 1.5 to 2 hours. Those who got experience, I'm not insisting on them. Those are freshers. So my what you call suggestion for you is, if you are preparing for 1 hour or if you are delivering class for 1 hour, prepare your classes for 1.5 to 2 hours. Why? Because the what you call the issue with the memory. Because what happens, though we have prepared for 1 hour, 1 to 1 we are prepared, and once we go inside the class, we might forget something. So 60 minutes class might reduce it to 30 minutes. Then what you are going to do? You cannot just talk. And nowadays students are so sharp, they might say stock is over. They might comment, okay, our teacher's talk is over. So it is better to prepare extra, especially for those who are in the beginning of your career. I would really suggest you to prepare more than what is expected. If what you call, if you're able to manage 1 to 1, don't worry, whatever you have prepared much earlier, you can carry it for the next class. It's like a bonus now. It's like a bonus where you are going to carry forward. There's nothing what you are going to lose. So the moral of the story is prepare more than what is expected, because you might forget something. You may not be able to recall what is to be what you call taught. Then whatever you have studied extra might come in handy for you, so that you can deal it better, so that you'll not be ridiculed or embarrassed inside the class. That's the one thing. Then comes voice modulation. Now, voice modulation is considered as one of the important thing in the teaching aspect. You do it. I'm not telling that you don't do it, but don't do it as a news reader. Your voice should be not monotonous. There should be variability in the voice. So what is that variability? What you call in the voice is sometimes you have to suddenly you give a pause. So once you give a pause, everybody look at you. What is happening? That is a catch point for the student that you are telling something important. Sometimes your pitch goes high. That is also very important. And especially those who are teaching language, and especially you teach drama. I think you should not stand at one place. You should stand at different places. You have to switch out to the different places according to the characters or roles depicted in the drama. And accordingly, you have to what you call change your voice according to the character. Then only the effectiveness would come. Otherwise, what's going to happen? You are reading just like a novel, and students will not understand, and that content will become boring to the student. So voice modulation, raising the voice, pausing sometimes, going in a lower voice, lower tone, all that matters a lot inside the class, because voice modulation is the thing where it can have a lot of what you call attention from the student part, and that attention makes you to tell better and make the student to understand better. Then another important thing is understanding the content and delivery. So I was just mentioning in the beginning, so sometimes some of the teachers have got a habit telling that I want to finish this unit somehow. Now please remove this what you call particular what you call concept, finishing the syllabus somehow. Now what do you mean by somehow? Means you do somewhat what you call a kind of what you call passing off and just finish the class because you find it difficult or you find it tough. Now please understand, if you are finding the content difficult, don't you think your students will find it difficult? And if you are making it more troublesome for them, how they are going to understand? The degree what you call master of arts, or, or any what you call master's degree, the meaning is what? You are a master in that subject. So unless you master that subject, it's of no use. So please be into that. I'm sorry, there is some technical issues there. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Half of the screen is visible, sir.
Yeah, I'm seeing some technical issues. I don't know why. Okay. I'm trying to correct it. Okay. There is a sudden this one. So if you don't mind, I'll relog in again. Just 1 or 2 minutes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Please, sir. Please,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Please, sir.
Sir.
Talking about becoming what you call, I was talking about the master. So why you have been given a master than a PhD or MPhil? The idea of master in a specific subject means that you are mastering that subject or you are mastering that. So my idea is, if you find something what you call complex or what you call difficult, yes, not all this one. Sometimes some of the contents are difficult. Your job is to make it simple and deliver the goods. Otherwise, if you find, because sometimes I've seen some of the teachers talking about happily coming out, so I finished this. I don't like those teachers because somehow finishing the content is not at all admitted or advocated in a good classroom. Because if you finish somehow, how the students will read or understand? So make the things simple for the student. So that means what? You should be able to what you call talk about the subject from anywhere to anywhere. So you should be a player of a subject, not beating around the bush, talking the actual things or talking the ground realities within the subject. So sometimes some of the contents are tough, but your job is to make it simple. And if you find it difficult, again I'm repeating, if you find it difficult, don't you think your students find it difficult? And you are making it or finish, some teachers are there finishing the syllabus very fast, content very fast, so that they are not understood it. So please don't do it. Either you understand that and then explain, otherwise ask your colleagues or someone who can do better of that job. I think you can do that. So please take into positive aspects of this. Then while delivering, please understand, in a classroom, apart from fast learners, slow learners, and moderate learners, there are 4 types of students are available inside a class. So they are excellent, good, average, and we call them worthless. Let me give you a short description of each. So the first group is called as excellent group because this group is basically these kinds of students. They, because nowadays all the syllabi is put on the website of each college or the university. Now these students coming under excellent category, what they do is they look into the syllabus much in advance, and before coming to the class they study about it, they review about it, and then they come to the class. That means what, one preparation has already gone in before, and then they come to class and they must have made some points which they have not understood while studying or while previewing or reviewing the before the class. So what they do, they make that points, and in the inside the classroom they will clarify those doubts, and they listen again seriously inside the class. So the second time preparation is over, and on the same evening they go back, update the entire what you call thing with the notes and all, and their preparation goes 3 times. That's why we call them as excellent student, and their success rate is more than 80%. Their success rate is more than 80%. Why? Because before the class, during the class, and even the after the class. Definitely, if there are no such students, please encourage them to be like this, so that what you call, it is good for you as well as good for the students also to score better. Then there is a threat also. If you are not prepared well, then go to the class. This excellent student will catch you. Because why? Because they must have read well in advance, and they come with the questions. Then where are you? So you cannot beat around the bush. So this is where our preparation also goes high. This is the first group, and I said their success rate is 80 plus. The second group is a good group. The idea is they don't prepare in advance, but they are serious inside the class. They listen to the teacher very cautiously and very patiently, and they make some points inside the class. And at the same evening, they go back home and correct themselves, make a neat notes of it, and next day they might clarify the doubts with the teacher. Now, please understand this. Their preparation is only twice compared to the excellent students. So in excellent students, they are prepared thrice. Here only the preparation goes twice. Once inside the class and then they go back and all. Accordingly, their success rate or scoring rate also is less. It could be just above 60 or around 70. That's why they come under good category. There is a third group. So this group we find more among our students. These students don't prepare in advance. They don't prepare on the same date. These students will get alert when the examination timetable is announced in the website or in the notice board. Now the activity begins. Xeroxing the notes, collecting the notes, downloading the notes. All that activity begins. And since they have started very late and still they appear for exams, their scoring rate is less. They may score between 40 to 50, not even above 60. So that's why we call them as the average class. There is another group of students. They don't prepare in advance. They don't make the notes on the same evening. And when the examination timetable announced, they think that it's not for them, for someone else. This group will be 24/7 active just 1 or 2 days before the examination. Now the 24/7 activity begins. That means what? Now they rush into nearby hostels, PGs or friends' place. They Xerox everything, including previous semester or next semester also, because now they don't know which one to study and which one not to study. So they bring bulk of it, or they download so many things from internet or Xerox textbooks and all, and they make a big piles of text or notes, and then they give standing instruction to their mummies. Okay, don't disturb because I am on a mission. What is that mission? Examination mission. I'm into 24/7 mission because I want to pass. And in that anxiety, which one to read, which one not to read, what not to read, everything gets confused. Somehow they read something and come to the college or to the examination, and there will be a miserable failure because their preparation is very bad. So now, as a teacher, your job is to identify these kinds of students within the class. For example, who are the excellent students, who are the good students, who are the average students, and who are the worthless students. Now identify them and make the best utility of them. So try to understand worthless students, you cannot put them into excellent category directly. Can you bring them at least average level? And an average student can get into the good level, that you can try. Or a good student you can put under excellent category. And for excellent category, more to study better. That's why I talked in the previous session, mentoring, where an excellent student can be connected to the worthless, an average student can be connected to the excellent student. So because for the excellent students, it's a double gain. Why? Because he's studying himself and he's making the other student to understand. So it's a double gain for him, and it will be remaining for in his memory for a longer duration. Benefit of these two are like they are gaining more marks. Now this is where you can think of what you call different types of students. Invariably in all the classes, these groups are there. So your job is to identify and improve them. That's one part where you have to remember, where identify these students and try to improve upon them. Then another part is what you call questioning. Now I sincerely request all the teachers who are listening to me, whenever a student asks questions, please don't get angry. Sometimes they ask questions which we may not be knowing the answer. Then we get angry. We say, idiot, stupid questions. They are not stupid questions. They are the good questions. But of course, we don't know the answer about it. The moment you scold the student, next time he will not ask the questions because you already labeled him idiot or stupid. And for the teachers listening to me, again, I'm telling you, please avoid usage of terminologies of idiot or stupid because you may be sued in the law of court because stupidity or the idiocy comes under the category of mental retardation. The student might put a case, prove me as a mentally retarded, then where is a place for you? So you have to use very cautiously these wordings. That's keeping apart. So whenever a student, what you call, asking questions, please encourage them. I'm sincerely requesting you, please encourage them. Yes, sometimes as teachers, we don't know the answer. Yes, you can't expect to be, we should be good in all. But thank that student. Okay, it's a good question. But you don't have, I don't have an answer now. But tomorrow you will have the answer. This is the way we have to take the things in a positive way. Of course, some students ask what you call questions which are irrelevant. For them, you can treat them better in the other way. But a student who asks what you call relevant, reliable, and a good question, please appreciate them because in a way he has told you indirectly, dear teacher, you need to study more. Because if you are not able to answer inside the class, that means what? He has not said openly, but it gives a what you call feeling that I should study more, and my student has given me that option. That is more important. So don't get wild or angry over the student if a student asks question. If you don't know the answer, fine. You can tell, okay, I don't have answer right now, but tomorrow you'll have answer. And maintain your wordings. Next day, you have to answer that. That is more important. And thank again. Why? Because this student asked such a good question, and it's a really good question that okay, I had to read a lot. and in a way you have improved your knowledge, so that next year you will not end up with the same problem. So think about that, okay, and never blame them, because the moment you start blaming them, they think that they are worthless, and next time the questioning will go at all. This is questioning from the student side. What about questioning from your side? Because the moment you ask questions, what you call, it makes the thinking visible. Because no, there are two things I should tell you, don't feel bad. In a class, if a few of the students are failing, it's a normal process. If majority of the students are failing, then the fault or the what you call damage is done by the teacher, not by the student. And how many of you agree with this? If few of the students failing, it's acceptable. But if in a class out of 100, if 80 students are failure, that means the teacher has to be blamed. Why? Because teacher is not able to give effective way of understanding. So that is what you call, I have that opinion. Because if you are teaching better and if the student has understood better, I think the output is very good. But if you are not able to deliver good goods, then definitely students are going to fail. Then it's not the students have to be blamed, it's the teacher has to be blamed. So don't take what you call nothing in personal. Okay. So why this questioning? Now from the questioning from the teacher side, as we said, okay, it makes the thinking visible, and it makes an indirect idea that how much students can remember what is being taught earlier. That's also important. Whether if we give twist the question, whether the student can understand the question and answer that, whether the student has what you call reasoning ability. So questioning is a way to what you call make the student for his progress in a formative way. Because remember, whatever the questions asked in the class, they are very much remembered even during the examination time, because that's a strikingly known. But you have to be very careful whom to select, because don't target a student. That's not a good idea. Sometimes teachers have got a habit targeting only specific students since you don't like them. So in a class, please understand, for a teacher, all the students are same, irrespective of the caste, creed, gender. Because you are teaching for a group of people, you are not giving a tuition. Please understand, you are disseminating the knowledge. While disseminating the knowledge, there should not be any discrimination between the caste, between the religion, between the genders. No. So if you do that, automatically you will be branded in a negative way. So your job is to, okay, consider each and everyone as equal one and teach them. So that is why don't target a specific student, a specific boy or specific girl, asking the same question to a girl every time or asking the same question to a boy every time. Now what they feel about you? Why this teacher is targeting me? Why this teacher is asking questions only to me? Why not others? Or sometimes favoring a student inside the class all the time. Okay, this student knows, okay, let him answer. No, that is also wrong. Selective what you call attention, that is also not a good idea. So when you ask question, that is also more important, whom to ask and when to ask. Next is asking in sequence. Now why this sequencing comes? Because remembering one thing makes you the part remembering the second part, remembering the second part making you to remember the third part. So don't start from what you call complex to the simple. Your always questioning should be simple to complex, because the more they remember simple, they can answer even the complex ones. And I have a very specific request to you, selecting the raised hand students. You know why? They are more curious and they want to what you call get a notification inside the get to be noted inside the class that they know, and they are highly motivated to answer. Don't ignore them. One who is willing to answer, give them a chance. Because the moment if you ignore them, next time the hand goes little down. Furthermore, if you ignore, furthermore goes down. And after some time, the hand never comes up, even if the student knows the answer. These experiments are done on that. So don't ignore what you call the raised hand students, because they have a lot of motivation to answer, and sometimes there could be something mistake in that. Don't ridicule them. Don't ridicule them. What kind of answer you are giving? No, at least he has a motivation to give the answer, correct the answer. We have a habit sometimes ridiculing them, embarrassing them. Oh, he has come from what you call Oxford. Okay, he's giving an Oxford type answer. No, don't even use those wordings. Praise them that at least the person is answering part of it, and you can refill the remaining part of it. Thereby, you can increase the self-confidence of the students. That's where you can bring them up. Then selecting after modeling the answer also fine. Then sometimes you leave some questions at what you call homework at the end of the what you call at the end of the class. What some teachers do is they keep questions and they ask the questions. Tomorrow these questions will be asked. This is a very good exercise. Why? Because the student is going to read those what you call questions and try to answer. And I expect you to what you call select the question what you call select the students for questioning in a random way. Of course, not ignoring the what you call raised hand students. Otherwise, don't specifically ask question for only for the first bench or only for the last bench. Not a good idea. It should be random and not ignoring the what you call raised hand students, because they are more important for us. So be careful. And why these questions at homework? Because it makes them to read again. It makes them to read again, and they might what you call scratch the answer and they might bring to the next class. This can make them to remember if the same question comes again in the main examination. So that's where you can play again a major role in that. A teacher should be a good problem solving also, good, good in problem solving. So since you are sitting for now more than half an hour, I'll give a what you call an example of what you call good problem solving, where a teacher should be a creative thinker, creative of solving the problem. So note this 9 dots. If you know the answer, please don't worry. If you don't know the answer, try to answer. I'll give just few minutes for this. There are 9 dots. Ignore the what you call boundary outside. My question is, being a what you call creative thinker, creative problem solver, connect all these 9 dots by 4 straight lines without lifting the hand, without overwriting the line. You have to use only 4 straight lines. I'll give you minimum time because we have to cover something more. Start working. There are 9 dots. Ignore the outside boundary. Connect these 9 dots by 4 straight lines without lifting your hand and without rewriting on the line. You can crisscross. And if you are ready, you can show on the screen. Go ahead.
So this is the answer.
Madam, I'm not able to see. Can you?
Okay, sir. I'll draw.
Sir, this one.
This is the answer.
Madam,
Is-
you have left the center blank, madam. Center you are not covered.
Okay.
Just you, sir.
Sir, I'm not able to. Sir, who is talking? Madam,
Ajay
you're
Kumar,
not. Madam, you're not. Aradhana, madam.
Yes, sir.
You have used 5 lines.
Okay, okay.
I need only 4 straight lines.
Okay, okay. Sir.
Who is the other person on the line?
Me also 5 lines, sir. Me also 5 lines.
Okay, go for the 4 lines. 4 straight lines.
Sir, is this the one?
Madam, I'll just I'll just highlight your answer. Okay. Madam, I'm not able to see properly. I think it's answer. Anyway, I'll show you the main answer. Let others also try. I think it's answer. Okay. Okay. For others, I'll give an option. So if you think traditionally, you will not get the answer. For a kind information, if you think in a traditional way, you don't get the answer. So think beyond the boundaries. We call it as out of the box solutions. Madam, I think Dr. Smitha, I think you're right. I'll check with the correct answer later.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So if you think in a traditional way, you'll never get the answer. So think out of the box solutions. So think out of the box means you think your thinking should be go beyond the boundaries and try to get the answer. I'll give just 1 minute more because we are running short of time. Smita madam, I have got a suggestion for you. Smita madam, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You can try with the 3 lines.
3 lines, sir.
Yes. But I'll give a correction for that. Instead of dot, you can make it as a circle, small circles. Okay, another few seconds I give, then we'll continue with the answer. Anybody got the answer? Four straight lines, only 4 straight lines covering all. Okay, we'll
Sir,
move
this
on.
type.
Who is on the line, madam? Madam, who is on the line?
Kalpana, sir.
Madam, just this one, show me, madam. Madam, no. You are there will be. You have lifted your what you call pen.
4 lines, sir.
Yeah, but you have lifted your pen without lifting. Okay, we'll running short of time. I'll show the answer. So I'll just scroll down for the answer. I said out of the box solution. I think somebody is trying this one on the screen.
Sir, I don't know if it is right or wrong.
Who has done with this color?
This
Yes,
is
sir.
Yeah, can you remove because I'm not able to because it was my screen is frozen now. The answer is right, but I wanted to show the exact answer. Pallavi madam. Pallavi madam, you are blocking my screen. Okay, I'll reshare it. Okay. I'll reshare it. Okay, this will be the answer. Hope all of you can see. If all of you see on the screen, see this is the first line, this is the second line, this is the third line, and this is the fourth straight line. So why I said out of the box solution, because if you what you call think within that 9 dots, you will never get answer. you'll never get answer. So think out of the box solutions. Sometimes we end up like that. So sometimes some of the problems inside the class are like this, where if you think traditionally, you don't get the answer. So it's better think out of the box solutions. Only thing is you have to have a creative thinking style, and by creating thinking style, you can solve the problem. Okay, this is with the 4 lines. I think one of the madam I said Smita madam, okay, because she had came up with the right answer. Now the challenge is try with the three straight lines, and answer is yes, you can do it. Please go ahead with the what you call workout. Answer is yes. So one option I'll give you, instead of dot, you can make it as a small circle, but still you can work it out with the 3 straight lines. Any answers?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, something in Z, sir. I don't know if you can see. But
But I am seeing 4 lines, madam, there.
no, sir, on the dot, it is only 3 lines.
I'll show the answer anyway. I'll show the answer. I think Smita madam is right. I'm not able to see
Z.
properly. That means it could be right. Okay. So I'll show the answer, madam, anyway.
Yes, sir.
So can you think of this?
Yes.
See, we were struggling with the 4 straight lines. Now it is with the 3 lines. That means what? Some problems apparently seeming as what you call impossible, made possible by your thinking. A teacher should be a creative thinker also. So how this problem is solved? See here, I started here on the top. I'm moving the cursor. I touch the top here, connected the center, continued in the bottom, further continued the lane, again top, middle, bottom, again continued top, middle and bottom. So these are things are called as out of the box solutions. Now this is where what you call we can make even the complex problems simple. This is just an example where we think it's not possible, it is possible. So think of such creative things inside the class so that you'll become what you call a good teacher. Next, a few of the important things where we are going to discuss student involvement. Okay, 3 important things where shaping the environment, planning and listening and responding. So when you talk about the shaping the environment, okay, so how you are going to what you call arrange a class if it is within your hand? I think the one thing is what you call usually we expect students to be what you call be like this. This is what you call 2 mutual things have to be done inside the class. One is what you expect from the students. That's very important. Then the second part is what is the expectation from the students, from the department or from the teacher? Because we don't want to ask the second point. We usually ask, you should be like this, you should be like this. But can we ask our students, what do you expect from the teachers? From academic point of view. I think that opens up more what you call a comfortable zone. Then all the time you have to make it like, what do you expect from a student from academic line, that what is a clear expectation. And I want to ask you teachers there, already you are into the class more than 1 month or more than 1.5 months. How many of you remember your students' name in different classes? There's a psychology behind it. Do you remember your all the students' name inside the class? Try to master their names. You know, this is very important. Why? Because sometimes students think that they don't know you or you don't know them. But the moment you call by them by their name, they are more alert and they are more happy. Why? Because my teacher knows about me. Don't you think it brings a lot of satisfaction for the student? Don't you think it brings, okay, my teacher knows my name. That is something really good. And that makes him alert, more alert. But if you ignore who is that, he is that, she is that, now he, she, and all, if you replace by their names, use the names. They'll be really happy and they'll be more cautious. Then how do you plan? This is also more important. Do you do a what you call classroom only by one-sided class? Do you go for a discussion? Do you go for a small group work? Nowadays, SCP or NAP has given all the options. Our students can be encouraged to give their seminars. They can deliver lectures. They can conduct quizzes. Okay. So how the student will be participating? If the student is participating more, you can give IA more, their internal assessment marks more, bonus marks you can give. If they get less in test and all, it can be improved. It can be improved in the what you call in the additional points we call summative assessment. Okay, because we have a, what you call two types of assessment, formative and summative assessments, where your marks can be adding to them. So even if they get less marks in one, if the student gives a seminar, assign him or her 2 marks. That brings one who brings additional quizzes, fine. One who teaches in a different way. Now you can increase their marks. Thereby you can bring a novelty in the class, thereby changing. Then listening and responding also important. You have to what you call use verbal and non-verbal clues to encourage participation. Okay. And sometimes don't jump up upon the students. Answer now, answer now. Give them some time because they will be in different world. And sometimes they may not have understood your questions. Please understand. So they have to understand the question, comprehend the question, and then only they can answer. And when the student talks something, don't interrupt them. We have that habit. Something he begins, something wrong, you stop them. No, let them speak, allow them to speak, because the moment you interrupt, they stop telling whatever they know about it. Then as a teacher, you have to provide specific, encouraging and varied responses. Don't discourage them. Sometimes answers could be wrong, but doesn't matter. Don't laugh. You say, okay, this is partly right, but there's a partly wrong, so correct it. Okay, then many times you have to repeat the responses, the correct answers, to clarify ideas also. Then sometimes you can raise the discussion. Okay, person X is, student X is telling you like this. What is your opinion? Ask person Y. Okay, X and Y are telling like this. What is the person Z opinion? What do you feel about this? So this is where you can have a creative discussion room inside the class. And then don't think that all the time we have to emphasize our ideas on the students. We also give importance to the what you call student ideas also. Something which is not there in the textbook might arise as a new idea from the student side, which can be very good to manage. So that's where one can plan. So then some of the emotive and cognitive feedbacks where we are going to talk about it for the students. You show you what you call when you're directing your students, because remember our students have got diverse interest and their career orientation is very different. So what are their goals? This is where you are going to start giving them feedback or help them out. One is where I'm going, and if I'm going, am I going in a right track or I'm diverting? If the person is what you call going in a wrong track, your moral responsibility to bring them back into the right track. Then once the goal is there, whether the progress is there, that is more important. Yes, some of my students will tell, I want to become IAS or IPS, but are they really struggling to go there? or is just on their mouth that I want to become this, I want to become KS officer, I want to become a professor. But is there is a way how they are going there? What are the strategies they are going to put? Where teacher as a career counselor can manage this? Because some students really they don't know how to go about or reach a what you call particular target. So in such cases, your job is to direct them. The moment you direct them, and remember, these students will ever grateful for you, because a teacher will have lot of what you call appreciation from their students when you really reach out them to help them to reach their goals, where lifetime they remember you as your role model. As this, because of this teacher I am here. I think you have done your job then. If you bring such few students in your career, so several difficult, at least some students if you bring them and if they remember you, I think your job is successful. Then what are the consequences? That also more important. So that's why usually we say when you direct someone, please do a point that never force them to be in a single career option. So let them have plan A and plan B. Now this is where you are trying to put them in a future career, which no other teacher does. Most of the teachers are just serious in only finishing the class and going back. No, you are giving a what you call idea for them to how to prosper in their life, where a student can remember you in a longer time. Then another thing, how many of you ask what you call feedback from your students? Do you have any habit of asking feedback from your students? After
Yes,
my
sir.
class, I'm going to ask my about feedback about my own class. Even today. One
No, sir.
sincere, okay, please ask feedback from your students. What did you like you? What did like? What was expected and what was not expected? What was a liking? What was a not liking? What is expected? What is to be discarded? It starts with your speed of presentation in the class. Sometimes the students are not able to adjust to your tone and pitch and the speed. So first thing is, were they able to adjust to the speed of your class? Accordingly, either you have to increase or decrease or you have to maintain the same. Next thing, they say, sir, you are talking only about the textual part. Your verbatim is what you call difficult. So then you have to make it simple, because you should know whether really your content is reaching to the students or not. Otherwise, it's difficult. Then you can ask what you expect in the next class from my side. This is how I teach. Do you want any change in my class? It's not that your style matters. It is their style. What they want, that matters a lot. You cannot say I am going to teach like this only. If you are interested, you listen. No, because you are reaching a target audience and you have to satisfy them. Then how many of you have got a habit of already you have done 1.5 months? My sincere request is after 2-3 months, get an anonymous feedback. Don't by name, don't put any name. Get a feedback, not that which what you call UGC or the ANAC does through what you call online emails, because sometimes students are forced to give a positive feedback. No, never get into that. So if you want to get to know about yourself, go for a transparent feedback by without their names, put some questions about teaching, way of teaching, teaching presentation, provision of notes, everything. So all this, you make some questions, standard formats are available. Don't put any names. It's only just tick marks, and take that evaluation back and check where you are lacking. If you're good in something, it's good. But if you're not good in something, that calls for some change in you, because such feedbacks can provide you lot of changes where you can have a what you call better teaching learning process inside the class. Because otherwise, if you think that your class is only good, I don't agree with that. Your students should certify that your class is good. So that is more important. And finally, before our question session, okay, introspect yourself. So when you went to the class, did you provide sufficient information or just you beat around the bush? If you are giving sufficient information, yes, you are a very likable teacher. But if you beat around the bush, students will laugh at you. Did you clarify all the doubts, queries raised by the students, or you just postponed it or never answered or blasted them? I leave to you. Then, the moment you finish the class, did you come happily? That usually when we give a good class or an effective class, we really feel happy. Sometimes we come with the guilty, or somehow I finished, or somehow I managed the class. Were you happy really? And that sense of fulfillment that, okay, that what do you call, that you have done something good for the students, where your knowledge has been successfully disseminated to the students. This is questions for you, introspect. If the question is no, then there should be a lot of changes. If the question, your answers are yes, I think then you have done a great job. And before concluding, my sincere request is, some of the teachers have got a habit of going behind the awards. The awards are only what you call good awards are given by the good agencies like state or central government. Nowadays, even what you call for them, for that also there are a lot of criticisms. So don't go behind awards. Let awards only come in search of you and follow you. I'm sincerely asking you, sometimes people pay and get the awards, get awarded by their own payment. Not required. You know who are the good awards for you? Which are the good awards? Before I conclude, if a student comes after 10 years searching for you, madam or sir, today I'm in this position because of you. Those days you corrected me, those you taught me. I think that's the biggest award you should keep in your mind, not this written or what you call certificates. If students are more in search of you, students are more remembering you even after their what you call student years for a good thing, not for wrong thing, then you are a good teacher. You have already been awarded. So thank you very much. I will leave few minutes for you. Happy teaching. Okay. Enjoy and make the best use of your classroom so that the students, even in their future, would remember you as a good teacher and a good professor. You are in the beginning of the career. Wish you all the best and continue. And we are left with another 8 minutes. So if there are questions,